Hello, Awifians. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening to you all. I hope you're well. I hope you're having a fantastic weekend, be it morning, evening, or afternoon, wherever you are in the world. My name is Lillian Moller. Welcome to another interesting live stream. I hope you're ready for us because I'm overjoyed by what's happening on this platform. I'm really pleased to see that there are collaborations happening with many Awifians worldwide. When I started this nonprofit, my hope was that I will be able to drag African women out of the continent to show the world what we are capable of, to show the world that we deserve more that we are having right now. And I think things are happening. I'm so grateful to you all supporting me. I'm so grateful to all the donations that are coming in. I'm grateful for the collaborations that is happening behind the scenes. So today we have great news for you all. I'm not alone. I have Crystal with me. I'm not alone. I have many amazing women. Before we start the conversation, how are you doing, Crystal?
I'm doing really well. I'm really well. It's nice to see you. Nice to be back.
Exactly. Nice to see you. A million thanks for your donation. When
Oh, it's my
we when
pleasure.
we when we chat behind the scenes, there was tears, there was, we were overjoyed. And when women come together, we do not need to be Africans, we do not need to be Europeans. We understand what we are going through, we understand the difficulties we're going through, we understand that uplifting one another is essential for the future. Why did you take such a huge step in saying, Lillian, I would like women to collaborate with me in this book writing, but now we see the struggles that most women are facing, and I decide to donate a spot in this book. Why did you take so much pain in offering so much to the community?
Firstly, it's not pain. I've along the way I've had many angels give me a hand when I really needed one as well. And I feel it's not about giving back. It's about giving back. It's about paying it forward. And the amazing thing that happened in my life just the other day, I got somebody donating something to me that was more than what I donated to you. So it comes in roundabouts. It's just so magical when we get into that place of giving from the heart, because we know that it can make such a huge difference in somebody's life. I really love diversity. I think it's so important that we hear the voices and the stories of all the different cultures, all the different people. And so that's really important to me. And so I felt like not everybody can afford a paid spot in a book. And so I was reaching out because I love the African stories. I think there's something so special in the African spirit. And that's why I reached out to you to offer this.
I think you've really pinpoint something which many people have difficulties identifying with. You love the African story. And if I look at the diversity of the people you have in the book, it's just amazing. We'll talk about it in a few minutes. But when you kept saying, you would really like someone who can help, that has the presence of her in your book will change other lives. That's when it clicked to me. I could not just n'importe qui, as we say in French. I could not just choose just any kind of person, but we needed somebody with a strong profile, who has a following, who is doing an amazing job already. And I really think that this candidate that we chose is what you really need. And dear, help me welcome our special.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you, sisters? I'm so
Very
excited to be in the
well.
show.
How are you?
Oh, I am so excited. I am great. And you? How are you?
I am doing well.
I'm
I
fine.
mean, you are the perfect candidate for this task. You're
Oh
carrying
wow.
Africa on your back.
Wow.
And
Okay,
like I
now I'm
said,
scared.
don't fail us. And she said, I will fail you. So please introduce yourself. I mean, the community knows you already with your amazing work you're doing with girls in South Africa. Please help me introduce yourself.
Thank you so much. Well, the short version. My name is Eva Rissanin Kulu Eva. I am originally from Gabon, but I live permanently in South Africa. I am an entrepreneur. I am a mom of three. I am a humanitarian in the sense that I care for young women, actually young girls, and I help to carry on with their lives after teenage pregnancy. And I do that because I was a teenage mom myself and I went through hell and back. And I stand here with you, feeling like if you know I am a miracle, and we're full of joy, full of excitement, knowing that there is more to life than what meets the eye, and that you know when you have that little seed of hope, you can make so much more. You can transform your life. You can really climb that mountain, you know, and make something extraordinary out of the ordinary. And the simple fact that I'm here with you, with Crystal, you know, with Lillian on this show, proves me that there is a God and that you know life life is something to live fully, and that most of the time we are at a stage in our lives where we need a push, and I am there to give that push to those who would let me, you know. And that opportunity, believe me, Lillian, I will make sure I represent Africa. I will make sure I represent Africa and more, because, like you said at the beginning, it's not just about Africa, it's about us, women in general. We are one, we come from the same source. And it means that my story will definitely impact your story, that will also impact another story. So it doesn't matter if I am African, you are European, we are all together in this. It's a sisterhood.
Exactly. Crystal, this is the shape of Africa. This is the powerhouse of Africa. And she's all yours. And I see nothing but joy. I see nothing but great, great, great collaboration between the two of you. I see so many things happening in the future through this community. And we can only hope the best. Eva, I admire your courage.
Thank
Speaking
you.
out, speaking out, as a teenage um, mom, girls are being shamed for it. Families use this as
Exactly.
a
Yes.
weapon against girls in Africa. Families use it as an
Yes.
insult
Yeah.
in Africa. Sorry, there is somebody who wants to join the live stream.
Yes.
As an insult, and women are being shamed for it. These accidents happen, and people
Yes.
thrive after the accident, and you are living proof of this
Yeah.
situation. In your best or
Yes. Thank you.
shortest
Yes.
form,
You're
in
right.
shortest form, how can you explain um, how you manifested or how you navigated the situation from being a teen mom to a successful entrepreneur? Share with us what some of your struggles are and how you managed to navigate through it.
Thank you for that. You know, I will try to explain it in a very short version because it can take hours. But basically, was first of all the shame, the guilt. You know, I was 14, and like Lillian said, in Africa, having a child at that, and I think it's everywhere. I don't think it's just in Africa, even in Europe. If you are a teen, you're not supposed to be a mom, and then it's seen as if you sinned, you did something really shameful. And I must say, you know, I know that it's something that can really affect your life, you know, for the worse if you do not know how to deal with it. So I was ashamed. I was ashamed of what happened to me. I felt very guilty. I felt, the financial need to take care of the child. And at that time, my parents didn't have enough money. So it was very hard. I also felt as if I was condemned and I was seen as a very bad girl, and I was judged. Many people thought that that's it, Eva, you're done. You will not do anything of your life. You're going to suffer and you're going to be nothing. You will not make anything out of your life. And that, believe it or not, after a while became a source of motivation for me. I wanted to tell people that, you know what, you judge me, you condemn me now, but just wait and see. But that was way after something happened inside of me. Because at the time when it happened, when I went through the guilt, the rejection from people, the condemnation, the insults, I felt like I was not even treated as an animal. Like you treat dogs with respect, with love and care, but I felt less than that. I felt like I was not even a human being. So much so that I tried to commit suicide because I felt like I was stuck somewhere. I had no way out. I felt so much guilt. The father of the child refused to accept the parenthood and the fatherhood. So he said it was not his child. So basically I was left alone. And I felt like if I disappointed my mother, I disappointed my family. And I just thought, there's no way I can raise a child being 14. So it means that I have to disappear. Believe it or not, I still to this date remember that day. And when I do, I cry. But now it's tears of joy because I see myself now. I'm 40. I turn 40 this year. Yay! Sexy woman. 40s. And when I look back, and I see the 14-year-old Eva, I'm like, wow, I came a long way, because if someone had told me at that time that don't worry, you will make it, you will be happy, you will be successful, you will be surrounded with people who love you, you will be respected, and you will be actually a voice for those young girls who are going through what you've gone through, and you will give hope to young women, to women in general, I would have said, you're lying to me, because right now I don't see any way out, you see. So when I woke up in that hospital bed after I tried to kill myself and I saw that I was still alive, to be honest with you, I was like, really, God? Really? You don't want me to die? Because like, after everything that happened, and then it's in that moment that something grew inside of me. It was the beginning of a faith that was so strong. I couldn't even name it. I couldn't pinpoint it. I could not explain it. A voice deep inside of me, like my guts, in my guts, I could feel it, was telling me, just know that you will succeed. I didn't know how. I couldn't even actually picture it in my mind because it looked impossible to me, at the time. But that little voice that was inside of me gave me hope, gave me courage. And from that moment on, I chose to follow my instincts. You see, and my life started. That's when I started living, really. It was a struggle, but my fight started with that. And I felt a bit stronger. So every time someone would insult me or, tell me very negative things about myself, I would just think inside of me, that's fine. I deserve it. I did something really bad. But you know what? Watch it. Just watch it. See me in a few years, you will see. And that's how I went from failure to success. And of course, failure again and to success, because life is like a roller coaster. You succeed, you fall, you get up. If you don't get up, then you will never get up again. And I met along the way many people, among which my husband, Mr. Nkulu Ella. So you see, my surname is long. Arisani is my middle name. Nkulu Ella is my married surname. And I owe him a lot. I thank God for his life. He's been a very great influence in my life. And many other women, such as Liliane, Mireille Toulekima, by the way, who played a very important role in putting me into contact with you, Crystal, and having this beautiful opportunity, Lillian. And yeah, I've been talking a lot. I lost track of what I was saying, but I hope I answered
really,
your question.
Indeed, it's really an amazing story, and I would really like people to, the next generation, or we are all women, and we sitting right here, we are moms, so we know what we are talking about. Raising kids, Jesus Christ, raising kids is not it's not an easy task. But starting at 14 it's another journey on its own. And what bothers me is that we tend to think, especially in our, I can speak more of the African culture as well, is that we think we all have the same path. You go to school, keep yourself ready to get married to a man, as beautiful as you are, the richer he is. It's like, no. And it doesn't mean that this is not about encouraging people to become pregnant at 14. Not at all. I don't think I will be
Not at all.
if my daughter is pregnant at 14. Yes, but if it happens, it happens. Life happens to each one of us. And your story is an example to show us all that we do not have the same path. Crystal, having someone with such huge baggage, what does it mean to you having her as a co-author in your book?
I think she has an incredibly inspiring story, and as she was saying, Eva, you're saying, you're giving people hope. That is what you're here now. You've turned something that was a real hardship into your life's mission in many respects. And you're now doing the She Phoenix Foundation and charity, and really helping others. You become a voice for those. You've risen above being a victim. And that to share that story, to be able to share that story and to make her a co-author with Dr. John Demartini, really getting that message out there is amazing.
I did not tell her.
I told her.
Yesterday, she said to me, "Can you believe it?" And I'm like, wow.
Yes.
I did not tell her. I did not.
Wow, I can't believe this. I'm so excited, thinking that I will be co-authoring a book with John Demartini. It's just amazing. And I told my husband about it yesterday. He was like, wow. Wow.
Yeah. It's sometimes it's really, the universe puts us together for a reason. It puts us in front of the right people at the right time when we're ready. And it feels like I am ready as a publisher right now to call that in and to really raise the voices of everybody else who's coming in. And so you are ready to have that message shared, and it will be shared with a huge audience. At least that is my prayer, my intention, and my hope, that we really share that message of living intuitively. Now, what you described about being in that hospital bed and thinking, well, there must be a reason why I'm still alive. There must be a reason why I'm still alive. There must be a reason why I survived. And then changing the narrative from being the victim to being a survivor and then thriving.
Exactly.
It's a powerful journey. Yeah.
Yes, no, definitely it was, yes. It is actually, yes.
And we have Muriel, who contributed a lot to your selection, Eva, who says,
yes,
we are not perfect. We are not perfect. We make mistakes. We should learn from our mistakes and build on them to optimize our life and step into our greatness. Eva did it.
Absolutely.
Yes, she did. Muriel, thank you so much for your contribution.
Thank you.
To all the women on this platform. There are also many projects. There are some projects I'm working with Muriel, with other women in Congo. So watch out for this space. There is a lot to be done. Collaborations will happen. But my joy is just seeing us right here, based in Switzerland, Australia, South Africa, talking about the future of women, talking about collaboration. What more can we ask for? And my question to anyone watching, either as live or a replay, what's holding you back? What's holding you back from using your story using your story to uplift others or just to uplevel your own life. We all have stories, we all have issues. No one is perfect. And I don't even think it's a mistake. It was meant to be, Eva. It was meant to be so this discussion could happen today. So it wasn't a
I
mistake. We
agree.
see it as mistakes,
Yes.
yes. Maybe because you were too young. And again, we are not encouraging teen pregnancy, but it happens.
Yes. Yes.
And look at
Yes.
what
And you
you're.
know, Lillian, the way you are saying now is so true because I don't know the kind of person I would have become if I didn't go through everything I went through. You know, like I am who I am now because of all the successes, all the failures, everything life threw at me, you know, and I learned from the school of life. And I feel like I paid my dues to the University of Life and I am growing and I am learning. And I just want to tell people that every day is an opportunity to learn and to grow. And, you know, I like when Les Brown says, OQP, only quality people in your life. You know, just for the short story, I don't know if Mireille is still on, but I met Mireille at a Les Brown event. It was a closed one when he came to South Africa. And they asked where we were from. And then they said, I stood up. I said, from Gabon. She stood up as well. I was also with my husband and we were like, really? Because Gabon is such a small country. So it's very seldom to meet someone from Gabon in a Les Brown event. And then we just clicked. And from there, it happened many years ago. But we've been sisters forever since that time. And you see, she's been pushing me. She's been encouraging me. She's been, you know, that will make you laugh. But she told me, Eva, you know, when Lillian told me about the opportunity, I thought of you. And I thought, I know Eva is very busy, but I will make sure she writes that book. Even if I have to come to South Africa and make her write that book, she will write it. So I just want to say,
Miriam, can you come to Switzerland so you make sure I write my book?
So you see, this is just to show you, you know, how you, by working on yourself, by believing in that the power that God put inside of us, by, you know, taking one day after the other to transform yourself, you attract many things, you know, and into your life. And you surround yourself with people who encourage you and help you become. And when I say become, I mean become, you know, who are you supposed to be. So yeah, that's
Great. Crystal, how do you think, talking with Eva and now with other women on this platform, what perspective did you have of African women that's beginning to change because of the contact that you have with us now?
You know, I've been in touch with African women, and in fact, when I was 19, I came to South Africa. I was there. I was in Cape Town. I was in Johannesburg, and it just opened my eyes. Like it was like I was initiated into the world, into life, because I, at the time, just knew my little German, you know, my life in Germany.
Yeah.
I feel it's almost more the universal theme. Like it's not, again, like Eva was saying, you know, it's not about, okay, this, your teenage pregnancy is not an African story, so to speak, but it's happened to an African woman, and it's happening to many women around the world. But what I really admire about the African women and about you is that there's a lot of hardship in the ancestors, in the ancestral history of African women,
yes.
and it creates that strength. And that's what I see in both of you and a lot of the other African women that I know, African American women that I know. It's that strength, that deep inner that intuitive knowing, like the trust and the intuition, that connection to something bigger than ourselves, in order to get through the hardships and to really find the meaning. And that's what I really admire.
Yeah. Thank you so much for that input. I think also we shouldn't glorify the struggle that we're going through as women, as African women, and that's why we're here today. You know, life can be easy. You know, Life can be smooth
can.
because adversities will happen. That's when it should get tough. But when we build ourselves with power women like this or platforms like this, we understand faster how we move faster in the growth, in the pain, and we recover faster. So my encouragement is we should stop glorifying the struggle, but we should start educating people in knowing those struggles will happen. But here, we're here to catch you if you fall. Eva,
Yes.
what's your contribution
Yes.
to that?
I just love what you just said because, since I've found the light, like I came through that tunnel and I was like, wow. So is it possible to have a life like this? Is it possible to wake up in the morning and just feel so happy? You hear the birds singing, you see a beautiful face next to you, someone who is loving and caring. You are filled up with joy, peace, calm, and you know that, God is in you, that everything you see around you, the air that you breathe, the trees and everything, you see beauty, and I think that people make life difficult. Life can be simple, it's actually everyone who makes life difficult. And it's true that, for example, I'm sorry to say that we are African, but Africans spend a lot of time talking about other Africans or other people. Like they will spend hours just gossiping, and gossiping is bad. It's really bad for yourself. It's bad for someone else. It's a bad energy. But this is just one example, and it makes your life difficult because you are stressed about it, and you see like put your energy into something that is building your life. You see, and I think that this is the lack of knowledge. Our people
Yes.
need more knowledge, and we are here exactly to share that knowledge. And getting that knowledge comes only if you look for it. Because I'm sorry to say, but some people live your life day by day. They wake up, they go through the day as a victim, and then they go back to sleep and they take like for granted and they put everything on God. They say, no, if I'm like this, it's because God decided that my life would be like this. I am sorry to say that, but no, God gave each one of us that power, that energy, that creativity, that intuition to change our lives. And I tell you why. I hope it's okay with you if I give that example. But I will tell you why I like the story of Jesus Christ. Because it shows God incarnated into a human being. And look at the things that he did while being a man. That shows you that we all have that seed of power inside of us. That power to do more, to create more, to be such a powerful source, and everything we do now is just the tip of the iceberg. Imagine if you spend more time working on your intuition, on your faith, on your craft, on everything you do, and less time, like judging, gossiping, or complaining without doing the necessary things, saying, oh no, I took on some weight, now I'm too fat, but go to the gym or go take that walk or stop eating, junk food, or plan ahead, plan your life. Life is not meant to be lived at random. It has to be planned. But these are things
No,
that you need to teach.
seriously, life is
I
not
had
meant to
to
be
say
lived
that.
at random. Really? I thought it's
No,
just you roll off bed and you just
no. Well,
we have
I
some
mean,
comments from Muriel.
no.
She says African women do not celebrate themselves enough. They take themselves for granted, and then others also take them. Oh, Muriel.
Yes, Mary, that's true. That's true. That's true.
Absolutely.
And I'm glad we are talking about these things. There is a workshop that I want to start in December about healing emotional wounds. Why am I doing that through She Phoenix? Is because I've noticed that African women in particular, believe that they do not have the right to have emotional wounds that need to be healed. We are seen as warriors. If you are
Yeah.
being if you are hurt, get over it. You just dust it off and you get over it. But we are human beings, and that emotional baggage, if it's not dealt with properly, will come back in any way or another, through like a physical illness, through so many problems in your lives, and you will not be able to move forward, in your life. And many times it ends up like a mental illness as well. But this is because there is that thought that Africans are strong. Yes, we are, but everyone is. But because we are African, it doesn't mean that we cannot have emotional baggage, or that we do not need to heal that emotional wounds. You see, and in the case of, for example, a teenage girl who is a teen mom, can you imagine the amount of emotional baggage that she has to deal with already, with all hormones working, going crazy and stuff? And now she has to deal with the rejection from people, the judgment, the insults, and everything. It took me years to work on my emotional wounds. And I'm still working on this because I want to make sure that it's empty, to give space to more of that beautiful craft, beautiful energy, beautiful and strong faith. But I need to make sure that, I've cleansed my soul, my spirit, my mind, and that only happens if you heal your emotional wounds. And I want to offer that to young moms, and to women in general who need that, because we are not being taught as African girls that it is okay to feel emotionally tired, or to feel emotionally, what can I say, drained, and to feel that, no, I cannot move on with that emotional baggage. So where do I start? And that book, for me, Crystal, comes at the right time, because I want to use it as a tool as well to explain that these things like that happen. But as an African woman or girl, you have the right to heal. You have the right to tell, yes, look, I'm not well emotionally, but I'm going to work on it so that I can move forward, you see. And this is something we are not being taught at school or at home, So where would it come from? It will come from us, like Lillian said.
Yeah. And it doesn't end with you, Eva. It's also about the child that was involved in this situation, and also how the child will carry on. But the more you heal yourself, you're giving permission for that child to exist, as we do not choose how we come into the world. We do not choose how we leave the world. So healing yourself heals the child and helps others. And that's why the book, it's really interesting for you to put out your work, your best work out there, so girls can understand. Again, I repeat myself, they understand we all have different beginnings.
Definitely. We don't have the same path, and it's okay. We all live a different journey, but we must know that whatever happens, there is hope. And as we say through my nonprofit organization, She Phoenix Femme Phoenix, teenage pregnancy is not a dead end. And we are trying to restore lives one girl at a time, because each girl is unique. And I want parents to understand that they have a very important role playing into this. Because you see, being angry is one thing. I do understand it's not something you want to go through. Definitely not. But being a parent comes with a lot of responsibilities and a big emotional baggage as well. I realize that with 3 kids now, being 40, sometimes I laugh when my child does something that makes me angry, because I realize that the reason for that child to be is also for me to grow as a parent. You have to be patient. You have to be loving in any situation. You have to be there and conditionally. And what I've noticed is that some parents love conditionally. So the minute you do something bad, then we don't love you anymore. and we give up on you. I'm sorry, no. When you are a parent, it's a full-time job. You take the job with everything, and you have to be there. If I fall, you help me get up, and get back on my feet and make me understand that, I have responsibilities too. And I must make sure I take the right responsibility. Freedom comes with a lot of responsibilities. You see, so it's a big job, and there is so much more to do. And in some African communities, what happened is they put their children, their girls, into marriage at a very young age to avoid teenage pregnancy. So imagine a 12-year-old child will be in a marriage so that the parents will make sure that she's still a virgin, by the time she gets married, so that, she is respected, and nothing like that will happen. I will not judge any culture because we are all different.
Yep.
But what I'm saying is we need to give a chance to our daughters to grow and to accompany them and make them understand, that this is what they have to do. But also, we must also groom the boys, because it's too easy to always groom the girl and then it's the girl's fault. What about the boys? Boys have to be groomed also to respect girls and not to start anything. Like, they should respect them. They should not want to have sex at a young age. They should, so it's both ways. And in Africa, we tend to be patriarchal. So it's a patriarchy where girls are at fault. A girl who is pregnant will not go to school anymore. The boy who fathered that pregnancy would continue living his life. He will even forget about that child, while the girl will have to carry that weight forever. We need to change the narrative, you see, and this is something I'm trying to work on and to change, you see. Men have a big responsibility too in grooming the boys in a way where they respect girls and they help them instead of feeling entitled to more. You see what I mean?
Yes.
But I'm doing I'm saying it respectively. Yeah.
Yeah. So, Crystal, how do you see this part of Eva's story being a very a catalyst of not only the change in African women or African girls or African culture? How do you see her story as a catalyst worldwide?
I think it definitely is, because as I said earlier, the theme is universal. So the journey from the victim to being shamed to being in that transition and making a choice, because it's a choice. Like, you could have very easily chosen to stay the victim. So we make a choice, and I feel like we're coming here to make that choice. Like, otherwise, because from my understanding is like nothing ever happens to us not that we can't handle. If we couldn't handle it, it wouldn't happen to us. Everything, and John Demartini speaks about this, everything is on our way. Nothing is ever in our way. And so we need to, as you said, change the narrative, change the perspective, and inspire the readers of this book to change the perspective perhaps on their own story and seeing the silver lining if they're not already. And I feel, we're really talking about intuitive living, how we're using our intuition to guide us. And we do need to change the narrative. We do need to change that fact that we don't celebrate ourselves enough as women. For men, it's a lot more easy still, although I don't want to say like men still don't, as a culture, we don't celebrate one another. As a culture, we're still living in fear. As a culture, collectively across the globe, we're still being fed the fears. And it's about the individuals rising above that so that we can step into hope, so that we can step into joy, so that we can create that connection to our innate knowing that there's so much more than what we're being told, but it comes from within. And so that's the intention really with this book, to bring together diverse stories, different types of stories. And I'm really grateful that we don't have anybody else speaking about teenage pregnancy. So it's really a perfect fit.
As we gradually wrap up this conversation, I would really like to have you back again at the launch of your book.
Yes.
And I'm talking to you women out there in this community. You're more than 8,000. When this book is out, we are uplifting not only Eva, we are uplifting the entire community. Please get a copy for a girl in Africa. When
Yes.
this book is out, I hope many of us will get at least a copy and make it as a gift to an African woman. I don't care where they are, in
Yeah.
the US, in Europe, or in Africa. Let's spread this book around. This book is like ours
Yeah.
because we are in it. Eva is representing us. We are in it. We are in it. So Eva, bring in those women. Let's get a book, a copy out there for someone who matters to us. It's so important
Yeah.
that we get to see our stories being represented in another culture. We cannot just talk
Yes,
about
I
Africa and
think
stay in Africa. No change will happen. So once this book is out, please, we'll need to have you all again and bring who you think it might be important to this community so we can share. But my hope is that we'll get as many copies as possible to spread the word because we are in that book. We are in that
Yes.
book.
Yes.
No,
Okay.
I agree
So
completely.
we will be back. We'll continue this conversation. We need to celebrate ourselves. We are not encouraging teenage pregnancies, but it happens. The figures are extremely high. Those girls did not get pregnant by
Yes.
themselves. Someone was involved.
Exactly.
And most of them are
Yeah.
being dumped. Most of them are being mishandled. Their lives will never be
Yes.
the same again. Very few of them become
Exactly.
successful as ever. But if they get a copy of this book, couldn't that change their life? Wouldn't that give
Yes.
them hope?
Yes. That's all about hope. It's about hope.
Exactly.
You know, without hope, you cannot do anything. So when you give hope to someone, you are actually giving the most beautiful gift to that person.
Thank you, ladies. But I will not let you go. I will not let you go without closing this discussion with a meditation. We are talking about intuitive living. We are talking about hope. I'll steal 5 seconds of your time. So please, may I invite you all to close your eyes with me, please? Take a deep breath. Inhale in. Exhale. Let's invite in our souls. As we inhale, let's invite love into our souls. Let's invite hope. Let's invite love. And let's exhale doubts. Let's exhale fear. Inhale in one more time. Let's inhale love, hope, and let's exhale fear, doubt, and when possible, when you feel it's okay for you, please, I invite you to reconnect with the room in which you are, the chair in which you're sitting, and when okay with you, you may open your eyes.
Thank you, Lillian,
Thank you
for
so
what you
much,
do
Lillian.
and for
Thank you.
the container that you're holding and for the work that you're doing and bringing everyone together and providing this vehicle for hope. I really honor and appreciate the work that you do.
We will be back.
No, I also do. I thank you, Lillian, and I thank you, Crystal, for this beautiful opportunity. Thank you so much for sponsoring me to be a co-author in that book. And I also would like to say thank you to my husband, and his name is Romeo, but I'm not Juliet. And also And a big thank you to Mireille for being such a wonderful sister. I call her the great connector. She connects people. And I also thank everyone who supports me, my friends, my family. So I can't wait to be on the platform again, Liliane and Crystal. I can't wait for that book to come out.
I am definitely getting a copy, and Muriel as well. And
I will
see as many. Let's get this book going. We are in that book, and I'm so proud of you all. Thank you all so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.